Wow. Hello.
What up?
Oh my God. Okay, Harrison.
Oh, why did you change it up? See,
Wow. Okay.
It worked. It threw you off.
That threw me off. Yes. Welcome, everyone. This is the NgoVo Convo podcast. I'm Veronica. I'm joined by Harrison.
What
Well,
up?
I'm completely thrown. Okay, Kermit. But we're both just here.
Kermit.
Yeah. Just to want to talk about anything that ranges from anime to comics. Because, we're trying to clear up our never-ending backlog. Which is Harrison's backlog.
We're almost
but
there.
We're like almost there. Almost. Sort of. No, we are.
We're pretty close. Like,
No, we're pretty close.
my God.
Because some would say it's two people. Him and I. Veronica and Harrison. Harrison and Veronica. Conversing.
Like, NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo spot right over here.
Yeah. He's trying to throw me off. I'm trying to throw him off. I don't know if it's working.
It's not.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. You can watch every episode on YouTube or listen to it as a podcast by searching NgoVo Convo on your podcast service of choice. We're everywhere. Anywhere. Almost. Just search us up. Yeah. And in this episode, it's episode 10 of our Haikyu manga review series. So if you haven't finished the manga, because there's no anime to watch at this point, go read it. It's chapters 338 through 369. And, we're just continuing on this Nationals arc.
What's the last one? Manga. Yeah, the last one was manga only too. Yeah.
Yeah. With the movie. It had movie. The movie's out. The Nekoma game, right?
Was that the last one? Oh.
Maybe?
No, I trust you.
Okay.
Kind of.
Me too. Kind of. Let me check.
No, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Don't matter.
Oh, yeah. It was the Nekoma game.
Yeah. So, we're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Karasuna moving forward into quarterfinals. I think this was like one of the... I want to get your thoughts on this because I thought last game was intense, but then you kind of just like read and finished. So
Wait, read what? What do you mean? Like
this whole arc.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the next arc. So you just kind of wrapped it all up into one. Here's the thing about Harrison. He likes to troll. And so he's like, no, I won't. This is Harrison. No, I won't continue reading. I'll save it for like next time we record. It's like the next day at like 4 a.m. and he will chat me and he goes, I finished. And so I wake up and I'm like, huh? What's going on?
Okay, like I did that a lot for the One Piece one because it was kind of easier because there was just so much. I'm like, you know what? No, I'll just push back because I did for a bit.
Yeah. For a bit. You still do.
Still do. You're right. So here, I really wasn't planning on like speed reading because we were our schedule was kind of lax somewhat at this point.
Yeah.
But it was good. Like it was really good.
It was
and I kept
good.
going. And I did not only like to add effect, I would screenshot the last page, the last panel, and just send it to her. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is good.
In silence. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, Harrison.
It's fine.
What you doing? It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, so Karasuna, they move forward. They're in the quarterfinals. We're in the quarterfinals. We're here. Yay. They're going against the Little Giants team. So Kamomide. Kamomide?
I mean, they haven't made the anime yet, so I can only guess Kamo Medai or
Mide?
something.
Or
Midai?
Kamomide? I don't know. Words are hard this morning. It's fine. But our good boy Hinata has finally met the original Little Giant, and I need your thoughts on the original Little Giant.
Okay. It's crazy. He's exactly what I expected, but it was kind of too real in that it's real. Again, this Haikyu is very realistic in the sense of it's when it pulls from like it can pull from like everyone's perspective in that, okay, this kid was really good in high school, but then he ended up not being as good in college, and therefore he just didn't continue playing volleyball. And that's
which
just
is like
that's
so
normal.
real.
It's normal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like your world is like where you're at, right? So for Hinata, like everything's like, oh, he's heard about all this stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, the little giant's crazy, and he probably was really good. But then when you meet him, it's like meeting your. But it was cool because he wasn't like a totally broken person in a sense. He was just like, oh yeah, I just didn't continue.
Yeah.
But he was like super uppity, and it was still cool.
And then, people thought that when Hinata would meet the original little giant, it would like
Crush
pull
him
back a little bit,
Yeah.
like crush him. Yeah. But it didn't, because now it's like so realistic for Hinata. It's like, oh, like what's after? Like he has to think about after high school, like what's going to happen there.
Yep.
Which is, I think, crazy.
It's cool. It was awesome.
Yeah. It's cool. It's awesome.
It was like it was really cool to see like, oh, we're finally meeting the little giant. So I thought I didn't expect it, and it was just, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because I think throughout the series, like even in the anime, they haven't showed his voice, his face. It's just like kind of a shadow of the little giant, the original one.
They had like one scene, I think, but it was like with the Tanaka sister at that time.
Yeah. But it was just like a shadow.
Yeah.
But here, like, we start getting introduced to him, and I thought that was really cool. How they introduced him to Hinata, to like the audience, to us. Yeah, I think it was great. Were you scared getting into this game? Because like this team is like top tier.
Yeah.
Like blocking team.
Which it's so funny because they're like what's it? Dazitech? But like 10 times worse, right?
But 10 times worse, yeah.
Yeah. Which is that's so it's cool that no matter what, there's always, and it's the classic rule of there's always someone better than you, and here it's just a good reminder of like they fought all these guys and there's still someone better than that team. So which
I find so crazy, because it's like, who's going to be a better blocking team than what we've seen?
It's because they built that up that like Dazitech was like the best in their prefecture, right?
Yeah.
So but then you put it into terms of like nationals and you're like, oh, of course.
Yeah. And they're friends.
Yeah. So
you know what I've loved about the national team, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure you like this too, but I love it how all the previous teams that played against Karasuna, they are like watching.
They're watching.
And then their reactions are just as good as like you being there watching the game. I just find it so funny. Like these boys are like, do something. And then they're like, wait till next year.
Which is so great. It's like, again, realistic, because they're going to be playing against each other for the next couple years, or depending on the year, right? But yeah.
Well, let's talk about the first set. Obviously, I'm just going to go right into it, but Karasuna did not win. It was a tough first set, I think. I think it was just like, feeling out the other team. I was going to say
it
was different.
Yeah, what I was going to say? Like, even though like you saying they did not win, it's funny because like, even though you could think, oh, I can figure out the order, right? Of if they lose here, they're obviously going to win here, and they say that too.
Yeah,
they do say that. They're like, it's fine. Usually they ramp up. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So, everything.
So this first set was a little different because it was like a lot was riding on this, since they were in the quarterfinals for the first time in a really long time, and obviously getting used to like the blockers, and Hinata's just like, I'm short. Like this little kid, he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna be here, monkey brain it.
Yeah.
But I thought the skills that you see for Hinata throughout this game is that he's like really putting some thought into his moves. Because I thought the last game he was doing really well, but he obviously evolved. He continued to evolve in this game, which is really nice to see in the second set. Because now Hinata's just like, oh yeah, let me just jump higher to reach the peak quicker.
And it's like
who does that?
It sounds basic too whenever he explains it, but everyone's like, there's growth. And every time it's like, there's growth. My boy.
And then everyone who's a blocker is just like, I love him, but I hate that move.
He's cool. but I hate that. I hate when people do that. It's like,
or the Maya twins. They're like, ugh.
This guy's a monster.
This guy's a monster. Our boy Suki. I just love his read blocks in this game. I feel like he's the most grown character out of the whole series.
Oh, yeah. I would say...
Especially with his brother. I know we haven't talked about his brother a lot, but like...
Even
that history...
Yeah. That technically kind of got mended. And I agree. I would say out of all the Karasuno boys, he probably had the... You could say all of them had the same arc, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think he had like so much more going on in his.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, his just feels more fulfilling in a sense.
Especially in like a high school setting.
Yeah.
Because if you really think about it in the beginning, I mean, you saw it in the anime, it's just like he was so nonchalant about
in a high school setting,
volleyball.
like he's very, it's like,
Yeah. No, it's great. I think it's great. What was your favorite part about this game? Was it Hinata going against the other little giant?
No, actually, it was you already kind of mentioned it was like Hinata at this point figuring out how to jump higher, kind of.
Yeah.
But I think it's like consistent with that. But I actually Asahi going against the little giant was really like the what's his name? So because we're gonna say it, but it's not actually the little giant because you keep saying it, right?
Oh yeah. Well, he wants to take on the little giant.
I honestly
title.
called him Bird Boy for a while because I know that's his design.
Oh yeah, Seagull Boy.
Seagull Boy, yeah. I actually was like, oh, it's Seagull Boy.
Me too.
Because they made it, and again, I love that the mangaka actually like for certain people makes or teams even gives like a
not like an animal,
like the animal mascot type deal.
Yeah,
and
it makes sense.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
I can't say Hoshimi,
I think.
Korai is what I remember actually.
Yeah.
But
Korai.
But that's his first name, I think. But it's fine.
That is his first name. It's fine. No, but like, I think the process of Hinata processing that the little giant title is not for him in this game was probably my favorite thing.
Oh, that's right.
Like, it was in set 2 where Karasuno won that set. And so Hinata, like, towards the end, when they were getting close to winning, he was just, like, thinking to himself and then talking out loud to, like, the other team and to Kageyama. He was like, Little Giant's not really for me.
Dude, and I love how everyone's like, he's too cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think the one guy on the other team was like, damn, that's cool. I wish I could. And I love it when people are like, I wish I could say things like that.
Yeah.
Because it's true. Like, I would have those moments more often. And I was like, dang, that was pretty cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
Too bad I didn't say it.
Yeah. And then he's like, you know what? The decoy, the greatest decoy, I can take it. And it's just so funny because Kageyama was like, you're still hung up on that? And in my head, I was like, that was like from season 1.
Season 1. Like,
when they were
up.
talking about this.
And he was just like,
it's so funny.
Huh. But it's cool because I think it was like one of those, he was so hung up on it. And I think even though he met like the original Little Giant, I think, of course, that's probably like the catalyst, right? That was like the main reason why. But it wasn't like, I'm glad it wasn't like a negative thing where it's like, oh, I can't be that, so I'll be this instead. It's like the flip side of like accepting it, like you said.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
It was cool.
He's now,
Sorry, when you asked my favorite spot, like favorite moment, did you say game or set? I thought
game.
Oh. Then
or set.
Then the favorite part of the game, I can't say yet.
Okay. Until we actually talk about
it. Yeah.
But I mean, if you really think about it, this is like day 3. Yeah, no, this is still day 3 because they were quarterfinals. Yeah. So they did like back-to-back games.
Death Day or something, right?
Yeah, it was like Death Day.
Because they just played Nekoma. Now they had to play this game. Yeah.
Yeah. Just imagining how tired you are because the Nekoma game was so intense and long. Yeah. And then you have to jump into this one. So obviously it's just like going to be you're going to be so much more tired.
Yeah.
And I'm just like foreshadowing what's about to happen. But I mean, Hinata receiving the ball correctly without falling was great.
Growth. So I know we talked about like Suki had like this growth in a different aspect of like mental state, I'd say more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how he perceives the game, how he like deals with everything, right?
Deals with his brother, his teammates, like
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Like character growth. Like Hinata actually has skill growth. I know that's typical for like shonen MC, right? Like, oh, he's getting better, blah, blah, blah. But it's just, it's cool because it's all basic stuff that he should have known from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's like, that kind of growth is just so, it's just still all like awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping, blah, 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 all that. I was like, dang, that's too cool.
I know. And then like, even Daichi's like, what's wrong with him?
Everyone's like, this guy's insane.
It's like, what's wrong with him? But obviously, you know, I'm foreshadowing to the part where Hinata actually can't continue this game. Like, they're going in, like, they're in set 3. They're about to wrap it up, but he can't finish it.
Wait, was it set?
Or was it set 2?
No, I thought.
End of set 2? I don't remember.
Oh.
But he did not finish set 3. I remember that.
He did not finish set 3. I don't remember if that's when they found out. I thought it was.
Was it, or was it set 2? I don't remember.
You put it set 2. I thought it was set 3.
I thought it was set 3.
Because I thought they won set 2.
And then they continued, and then like quarter way through, he dropped.
Because I thought it was, I could have sworn. Yeah.
We might be, well, comment down below.
If
you read this far.
My thoughts right now is I thought they won set 2. And I haven't read it. I read this like 3 weeks ago? Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. Same. It's been a while. Memories. Fuzzy.
Yeah, anyway. But
basically, Hinata's like out.
But yeah, it's like, it was like one of those, he was going to do another jump, but then he all of a sudden just couldn't, and he fell down, and everyone's like, whoa, you look bad. Like.
Yeah.
Like, he looked exhausted, and they're like, wait, what? And he had a fever. That's
so crazy. But also really realistic. He didn't get injured or anything. He just got a fever. And
it was like he overworked himself, and he just didn't, like, was it sleep? Or was it... It was a combination of a lot of stuff,
food, I remember. Like, yeah.
But
No, I thought that was probably, like, one of the saddest, most realistic thing that could have happened to Hinata.
Yeah. Like, the sensei, like, the teacher always gives, like, this crazy, especially, like, in the last few, like, games, he says, like, the coolest, like, lines. At first, you think it's cringy, like, in the first season, but as you, like, as where they are in, like, in the tournaments, you start resonating when you're like, yeah, he's right. This is cool.
He's like, I know, his teacher was just telling him, like, volleyball will always be here, but, like, you have to take care of yourself, and I was like,
I thought I think the other relationship that was cool is Kenma and Hinata, right? Because Kenma running down just to give him an iPad or let him borrow it.
They're besties.
Like, I was like, dang, that's too cool.
And Kuro's like, where you going? What are you doing?
But then afterwards, he's like, oh, did he? You know, he knew.
Yeah.
Afterwards, he's like, okay.
No, I think, it was a sweet thing to do, because obviously that's like so tragic for an athlete at that part, of the game.
And then can I say my favorite part is actually the fact that they lost.
Yeah.
And I say this, and not in a bad way, but I say this as like, I was actually expecting all these things, but then the moment Hinata left the game, there was that moment where I was like, oh my god, they did it again. They're gonna lose.
Yeah.
And I think it was the first time they played against Alba Josai. When they lost, I was like, dude, I don't see that many. You don't see that often where you see like that. Like, there is times when they lose a battle, right? But when it's a sports thing, it's like, oh, they lose a game. Like, that's straight up a game, and that's a big thing, no matter what. I thought they wouldn't do that again.
Oh, but they did.
And then they did it again. I was like, at nationals, I was like, dude. 1, that's real. That's realistic. And 2, that hits hard. Like, that sucks.
Especially for the third years. It's like their final.
Yeah. But
game.
Yeah, but I mean, they got to nationals. I think that's the big thing, right? And you start realizing, oh, they want to push further, and the mangaka makes you think, oh, it's gonna happen. They're gonna get to the finals at least.
They're gonna get there, yeah.
Just to find out, no.
And you know, in set 3, what was crazy was that they were still Karasuno was still a good team.
Yeah.
They just couldn't fill in the cracks where Hinata was filling.
Yeah.
Like they had good, you know, bench warmers. It's just like the combo of like Hinata, Kageyama, like that crazy set.
And it was just a good weapon in a sense. Like it was a good like, oh, we'll throw this out now. Okay. Yeah. But they can't. And again, it's like you know they were trying to say like it's not that that's the main reason, which is really cool, but it's still like his
big part.
Him not being there or Hinata not being there is a very apparent thing to everyone.
Yeah. Even the other team was like, "Oh my god, like
these guys are what's
happening?" Like, they're still crazy. They're still crazy.
Which I think is still a great point to point out is like, and they always say that for other teams too. Remember, like whenever that happens, like, oh, it's not actually just him. The rest of the team is just as good. They
just don't like pay attention.
They don't. They just don't. And that's the thing. Everyone also, I think the coach or someone mentioned it too. They're like, this team is good. Like it's just because those guys are crazy.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I don't remember if it was this game or a different game, but I think it was Dekaba. But again, it was like the points been brought out, and I think that was just really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I know. My favorite part, because I don't see that often, and it was like kind of glad because after a while you're like, you don't want them to just win, and it feels very like, it feels like it's just shoehorned in, but it was like, oh no, they lost. 100%. And then my next favorite part is them explaining how they never get to the same point ever again.
Yeah.
I say that as in like, I would not expect that, because you'd expect them to like be like, yeah, and of course the MC and the team do so well and they hit the finals. They're the best. But they never hit it again. I was like, oh shoot.
You were like, oh, realistically, like they got close, but like they never
win again. I was like, dude, or they never. I think they get to nationals a couple times. Or the next few times, but they never reach quarterfinals again, which I'm like, because they lost to Dante Tech the next year, and then I forgot the year after that. But it was cool to see like the 4 freshmen essentially were like the main guys after a while.
I know.
So
one of my other favorite things after they lost the game, Suki's like, "Give me the tapes. Let me see everything."
Him wanting he's a volleyball boy, like through and through now.
Wanting to like watch past games and stuff, and then Daichi's just like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you acting like this?" He was like, "What's going on?
Who are you?
Who are you?" No, but then Kageyama's just like, "I wanted to go further with this team," and then like everyone's just like, "What? Who are you?"
No, and that's when I got chills. Like I was reading that and you saying that, I got chills again, because it was like, this is where I think growth is so crazy. Like it's so cool. You don't think about it until like they say something. And you're like, oh, they actually have grown, and you get to say your reaction is also the team's reactions at times, because that was how it was for me. I was like,
yeah, you're like, what?
Whoa.
But yeah, so they lost. And obviously Hinata's, recovering, and they talked a little bit about that. And their team, they're just like, let's feed him all this stuff.
They talked
let's
about
get together.
Yeah, they kept saying a good meal and everything. I know one of them was, I think Asahi was joking about the food, right? And then they ended up getting the one that he chose, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it was? Again, comment down below if we're saying anything wrong. That's fine.
Because it's fine.
Because I like talking
We're just remembering.
I like talking about Haikyu now. It's fine.
Yeah. It's fine. Obviously, the third years, they graduated. So we went to a little time skip to like graduation for the third years. Mm-hmm. And then there's the end of this arc.
Wait,
unless you want to talk about something
Did we mention Ichiyama?
No.
Can you? Okay. They built him up or they hyped him up in a bit, and then they hyped up his team. But again, realistic,
eliminated.
Just to be eliminated. I was like, dude, that's
crazy.
It's cool because you also this manga subverts like your expectations of what normally happens. Oh, this guy's the number one guy. Of course, they're gonna be number one again.
Oh yeah,
or something, right? No,
it's kind of like the Maya twins.
Yeah. It's like a lot of people unexpectedly lose to a certain point, where it's like, oh, but I think his thing was also like, oh, we lost because I think one of the guys sprained his ankle or something. It had an injury, and it was the same thing. It was like, oh, someone was like, oh, too bad. I think it was like, oh, too bad. Karasuno lost or something, or I feel bad for those guys. He's like, no, don't. That's. Yeah. And I was like, ooh, that's badass. That's cool.
That is. No, but yeah, it was just like so unexpected. But also, it's nationals, so obviously, there are going to be way better teams out there than what we've seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's crazy. But the end of this arc had a bit of a time skip, which just like cut off, and I was just like, where is Harrison gonna be at now?
I stopped at that time skip, right? Because you told me, again, Veronica gave me the chapters, and I read up to that point. I stopped at the ending, and it was a time skip. And he's in Brazil?
Yeah, he's in Brazil. Someone. No, yeah,
he's in Brazil. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But and then the time skip already got me. I was like, oh no. I technically need to stop here for our episode, but I need to keep reading because I can't
you need
stop.
to keep reading.
So, yeah.
And now we're circling back to where Harrison just could not stop reading.
And
just kept
like
going.
I sat on his couch, and my wife was sitting at the desk, and I'm like, I kept saying, oh my god, oh that's so cool.
Oh yeah, and your wife hasn't read it yet, so she's probably like, what the heck is he reading?
No, and I'm like, okay, I had to stop here because the arc's ending. She's like, okay. Yeah, I mean, she's like, do you have to? Or I was like, no, but I'm usually bad about talking about more stuff, but it's fine. But then I like sat there for I think I sat there for 10 minutes.
You're like...
And I'm like, no, I gotta keep going.
You're like, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know.
Again, I think
there's that.
This whole arc, this whole game was just it was really cool. It makes you think that you know how the flow works. It subverts your expectations when things happen. And I'm like, dude, I get the hype.
It's just
I get the Haikyu hype.
Crazy. You get it now.
This is supposed to be a movie, right?
Yeah. Supposedly. Huh. Which I'm really upset about because I feel like it should have been a season.
Okay, remember how we said they were doing 2 movies? The NgoVo, is that one of those movies?
Yeah, it's one of those.
So then is this the second movie?
Yeah, this should be the second. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little upsetting because I was like, it should have been a season. This whole thing should have been a season.
I can see why.
Yeah.
I can see why. But
yeah. I mean, we'll talk more about it in the next episode.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't have anything else. I don't know if you have anything else.
Let's get to
it was just an overall good game. Yeah.
No, it's overall good. Again, favorite part is they did the same thing. Even though they did the same thing, I just don't expect to see a loss like this. And it's just
that tragic.
Yeah. Tragic.
It's so tragic. But it's okay. We'll bounce back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on all of our socials at NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo. If you're on YouTube, comment down below how fuzzy our memory has been in the last 2 weeks. It's fine. It's not that fuzzy. But yeah, let us know if you've finished Haikyu like Harrison, if you just continued on into the next arc. Like this video. Smash that subscribe button. Yeah, we'll talk to you next time. Okay, bye.
Bye.